Hi everyone, how's it all going? I hope you're well. Today I'm going to be looking at the Logic Remote app for the iPad. So it's a way of using the mixer and changing a lot of the plug-in controls from your iPad. I think it's also available for iPhone, but I'm going to focus on the iPad today. So let's jump in and give it a go. Okay, so if you're using Logic Pro X or GarageBand and you have an iPad or an iPhone kicking about, perhaps you do, then I highly recommend downloading Logic Remote. It's completely free to download, which is really cool, very nice, and like I say, it works with Logic and GarageBand, but sadly it won't work. It just won't work with any other DAWs. So this is just about Logic today. Okay, and when I found it useful is, you probably can't see, but I've got a little sofa here just behind me. I quite like sitting back away from the computer when I'm doing mixing and doing little tweaks and changes here and there for listening sessions, just to get me away from the screen, just give me a bit of distance, just to move things about. And it's also a really nice way of getting a little more tactile with the mixing and doing other various bits and pieces. So like I say, it's free to download from the App Store. It's quite easy, and as long as your iPad is on the same Wi-Fi connection as your main computer, which is running Logic or GarageBand, it's really quick and easy to set up. You literally just open the app and it will say something like, connecting to Mac or attempting to find Logic Pro on the network. And as long as you've got Logic running on the computer at the time, it'll just automatically connect pretty much straight away. And everything is there. Sadly, you can't see where I'm clicking on the iPad, but hopefully you'll be able to get an idea. So this is the main screen on the iPad that we're going to be that a lot of people will be seeing, and like I say, it's all completely automated, and it brings in all the track names and the colors from the project that you're working on, and any changes that you make on the iPad just do update quite quickly on the screen. So I'm just going to move this bass fader on the iPad, and you can see that it changes, updates there. Okay, so you can scroll across, got all those faders, and yeah, all the main controls work. So you've got play and stop and record. It's quite handy having that record button. So if you've got a slightly bigger room and your vocal booth is the far end of the room, you don't want to have to run and press record on the computer and then run to the other end of the room. You can have your iPad in the vocal booth or wherever you're recording. So that's really, really handy. So you've got, from here, you've got all the panning, you've got the muting channels and the soloing channels and record enabling, and the automation, and all the sort of easy access stuff that you would expect from the mixer view. So that's in pan and volume on the right here, but you've also got you can control the MIDI effects, which I don't think I have any on this particular project, but so I've got this vocoder track. If, for example, I wanted to add in, I don't know, an arpeggiator, I'll just tap into one of these empty slots, choose plugin, choose plugin, and then I can choose one of these, so arpeggiator. Now, if you've used the arpeggiator effect in Logic, you'll know that it doesn't exactly look like this. It is quite a different layout for the iPad as what you'd expect from the main view on Logic. So let's just compare those two. So that's how it looks on the iPad. Move things around a second. So vocoder up. So as you can see, they look very different. But all the main features are still there on the iPad version. Sorry about this. So all the main features there. Yeah, so if you wanted to do any effects on the fly, you can do that. We can remove that plugin. You've also got access to audio effects. So this is things like, if you've got reverbs or delays or choruses or melodyne or doubler or anything like that. Again, the UI for these plugins is going to look very different, but all the controls that you'd expect to see are there. So for those that know Valhalla Reverb, obviously the UI looks nothing like this, but you can make any changes there that you might want. And you can enable and disable any of those. So that's really helpful. You've got access to all your sends there, and pan volume. What you might not realize is that you've also, in this top left corner, got this little drop down. From here we can go to different views. So I would have a step sequencer. If you've got a drum track, bring in live loops. That's the live chord strips. If you're doing keys work, that's quite a nice one. I think they've taken this. This is also a view in GarageBand on the iPad as well, if you're familiar with that. You've also got access to nice little keys here. So if I wanted to change over to, I don't know, my bass sound, I can quickly play in a little bass line. Obviously, being on the iPad, it's not going to be anywhere near as easy to use as an actual keyboard controller, but it's fine for jamming out little ideas. And like I say, you've got access to all the usual controls that you would do. Okay, so in a nutshell, there we go. There's just a really quick overview of the Logic Remote. It's free, it's really easy to use, it's a lot of fun. You've got access to the metronome, the loop section, yeah, lots of access to a lot of stuff in there. Effects, you can got XY pads here for all sorts of effects, lots of settings. You can save the projects, play with the tracks, change the velocity, and all that sort of stuff. And it's, like I say, it's really worth getting into. It just gives you a slightly different way of working, and I found it to be a lot of fun. So I hope I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this is useful. Download it. Got nothing to lose if you've got an iPad kicking about. Yeah, give it a go and let me know what you think in the comments down below. So see you next time. Bye bye.